I've lived in Vancouver since 1995, but the only reminder of the 1954 Empire Games, for me, all these years, has come outside the gates of the PNE. That's where Empire Stadium was, and that's where the most famous event of the Empire Games took place. The one where John Landy, the Australian runner, looked over his shoulder as he was about to win the mile, and Roger Bannister, the famous English runner, blew by him on the other shoulder. So that's the only reminder. Nothing else all these years has told us anything about the Empire Games until now. The BC Sports Hall of Fame has opened a really great exhibit. It's called A Week That Will Last a Lifetime. And we chatted with Jason Beck, the curator of the BC Sports Hall of Fame. Jason, it's the 60th anniversary of the Empire Games in Vancouver, and of course the Commonwealth Games are happening right now in Glasgow, so the timing is excellent. What was the impetus for the new exhibit?
Well, we wanted to tell the Games story in a bigger way. We have a large footprint in the hall that we had wanted to reopen, and we've got this massive collection. We just felt that there was a confluence of different reasons that we wanted to bring this story more to light. I've been researching the Games for about 7 years. I'm preparing a book, and we just felt the time was right.
In Vancouver, there's not a whole lot of evidence of the Empire Games. Why your interest in it? I know you are a historian, obviously. Why your interest, and was it hard to put this collection together when so much time has passed?
My interest in it was I just found there's so many great stories beyond the Miracle Mile, beyond Jim Peters, the marathoner. There is this entire cache of untold stories that we felt we wanted to share. And building the collection wasn't that hard. There's a lot of athletes that are from the Games that are still in Vancouver. And we managed to make contact with those around the world, and they wanted to take part. They wanted to participate and send their items to us.
Okay, well, why don't we take a look at a few of your favorite things.
In 1954, Jim Peters was the fastest marathoner in history. He'd broken the world best time 4 times, came to Vancouver, he was expected to win gold again. And of course, he infamously collapsed about 200 yards short of the finish line. And what we have here is the pair of Woolworth's plinsolls that he wore, essentially tennis shoes, on the marathon run. I just find it's amazing that someone could run 26 miles in these thin rubber shoes that you wouldn't wear these for tennis today. This is pre-running shoes days. The other interesting thing about them is that because they were so cheap and they were so malleable, and he ran so often, he'd actually wear down one part of the sole faster than others, so he'd just switch feet, that way the shoes would last longer. And you can kind of see how they've been worn evenly on the soles of the one shoe right there. What we have here is one of the 25 Omega stopwatches that were used to time the Miracle Mile. They had watches at different places along the track, and then they had about a dozen at the finish line. This was one of the dozen at the finish line. Still stopped at Roger Bannister's winning time of 3:58.8. So literally a moment that's been stopped in time for 60 years. So it's really one of the signature pieces, not just of this exhibit, but of our entire Hall of Fame collection. So what we have here is a 15-foot bow section of the Victor Spencer rowing shell. The Canadian 8s, that was the UBC Vancouver Rowing Club 8s representing Canada, rowed this to gold in a major upset victory on the Vedder Canal, of all places. The shell here is made of Western red cedar, made by George Pocock, who's a very famous boat builder from Seattle. The rest of the shell was damaged in a training accident on Cole Harbour. The other amazing thing about the shell is we had all 8 members of the crew here for the opening. They're all still alive, they're all still in good health. It really says something about the health benefits of rowing, I guess. But this to me is again, one of the signature pieces of the gallery. Never been on public display here at the Hall of Fame, and it's a true piece of history.